everybody! We are the SpiffyNeedleGeeks, and today we are discussing Smash-related things. We haven't done this in a while. This is Brawlfan1, and Roushutsu is with me, as usual.
Howdy ho.
Ryan is currently sick, and today is actually Russell's anniversary, so they're not going to his anniversary with his girlfriend, so he's not going to be joining us. So instead, we have our usual Spiffy Needle guests, Kenshi and realmwarss.
You.
Hi.
So today, like I said, we are discussing Smash-related things because today is the first day since yesterday of the Smash Ballot finally ending.
And then when the results come in, I will probably be in a corner crying.
Everyone probably will be.
But bear in mind, considering how long they've left the Smash Ballot open, it's probably going to be a little bit before we actually even hear of some results. Like, I do not imagine we're going to be hearing results within, like, a day or two.
Obviously not.
I don't know.
Yeah, on top of that,
How long
it's
it
also
was open. It's likely that it's possible that they were keeping track of all the send-ins for like a long time, so it's possible that we'll hear very quickly if they have.
But even with that, you got to think they're getting millions and millions of requests, and not to mention they didn't limit it to like one per person. They said you can enter as many as you want. So I mean, that's like regardless, they're gonna have a lot to go through.
Yeah, not to mention. You have to keep in mind the fact that how they set up the ballot. It wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, like, you know, we have this selected list of characters here. Just put a bullet next to the character you want, and there's your vote. No, they wanted you to type down the character's name, what game they came from, and then at the most a 500 character explanation as to why you think they should be in there. So keep in mind, people who are obviously putting in joke names. People who probably misspelled a character's name, like
because the internet's grammar sucks.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Not to mention the idea, yeah, because let's assume that at the very least about 2,000 people voted every single day for how long this has been going on. One guy probably F5ing the same vote over and over again the whole time, because this is a big world, and I'm sure at least one person did it. So,
I will confess, I was that one guy who submitted like 100 votes for Klonoa.
And still, he somehow ends up in last place.
God damn it!
Well, you know, he's obviously last because the only person voting for him was Realm. No one else was voting for him.
Yeah. No, there are some people who are coming to me saying like, "Hey, I was voting for the character after I made my video on it. I made my video on Proboscis Sniper."
No, they said they were, but they were just humoring you, Realm.
Are you sure about that, Kenshi?
Well,
why must you crush my dreams?
Speaking of which, either way, so before we get more into the idea of our thoughts about this, let's real quickly go over the characters who we did vote for. Realm, you may as well start because you already said you voted for Klonoa. Anyone else you voted for?
Yeah, I also, well, let's see. I also voted for Wolf because he was a main of mine in Brawl, along with Solid Snake, because I mained him at the wrong time.
Oh.
It's like, I was mating him near like when Smash 4 was going to become a thing, and it's like, oh wait, he's not going to be in that one. Son of a bitch.
Well.
I didn't really have any other votes for any other characters except for like one other character, which I knew for a fact he was never going to get in just because of the fact that, one, he was never really anything related to a Nintendo console. The only really thing that he was pretty much made him something was he was an indie title, kind of like a Shovel Knight and Shantae to an extent, and that was Dust from Dust and Elysian Tale. And that was mainly just because of the fact that after playing, like, you know, I've been playing the game, getting a lot of people interested in the whole thing. He had such a wide range of moves and different kind of matches you could use, which would make for a really amazing moveset.
Okay. But yeah, also keep in mind, obviously, the four of us here know this, but I'm just going to remind the audience. Sakurai did make it very clear the circumstances on who was being voted for. He said he was willing to stretch out between third parties if need be, but he wanted to make sure that the characters at least had a video game strict origin.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
That being said, Kenshi, who were your votes?
I did not.
You did not. Okay, Danny.
There was real.
Well, gee, Kenshi, you're no fun. What do you do?
I'll at least say who I was interested in, but I didn't actually put any votes in because I knew they would get like tons of votes, and I didn't want to hassle with adding my measly one vote that I would do once and then get pissed off about. I was interested in seeing a return of Wolf and Snake, mostly because I thought they were at least interesting. I was also interested in seeing. Oh God, brain, why you fail me now? If I remember who it was, I'll just shout it out.
What game was he from?
That's just it. Everything just went blank.
Well,
It's like when you're typing something and then everything freezes and you
I
can't read.
I hate that so much. That I must be able to type. I apologize.
What I learned in coding school today is
Anyway, Danny, your votes?
There was really only one character, and I know when we were doing the Brawl discussions on your channel, I've said it several times, and I might as well say it here for those who are just joining us on the SpiffyNeedleGeeks channel. I had always thought that Simon Belmont would have been a nice addition, you know, kind of like Link, where he'd be using a lot of the items, but they would be a lot more effective, because I would imagine, like, you know, throw the holy water, you get splash damage, you can throw crosses, you can throw knives, you can use the whip in 8 directions. I mean, he could easily have been a versatile character, and when they first announced the ballot, I was thinking that would have been a great addition. After all, Castlevania started on the Nintendo. I mean, that has a very strong Nintendo history. Granted, it's owned by Konami, but still, it was like, okay, this isn't the first time that we've grabbed 30-party people related to Nintendo, so why not? Now I have to admit I know that's not going to happen just because of all the stupid shit that Konami has been doing in the past couple of months. There is no way in hell we're getting a Konami character now.
Yeah, sorry, Simon. Sorry, Snake.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like, if Konami hasn't been doing the stupid shit that they've been doing, I would say that, yeah, perhaps Simon Belmont or Snake would have a chance. I do not see it happening anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you see, the thing is, Danny, like, when I think of, like, Simon Belmont, I probably could see him as, like, a really dangerous character to try to go up with up close, because he probably could keep people away very well with, like, his whip, because it's like, you'd have to keep in mind, you'd have to respect the distance of the whip. You'd have to find a way to be able to get in close without getting caught in that thing's hitbox. It's sort of like Zero Suit's grab. You've got to be able to respect its range, otherwise you're going to get punched by it.
Right, and, you know, you would have other variety of weapons, like, you know, for some throwing damage. Like I said, the holy water could maybe be used for splash damage, maybe setting up some traps. I mean, it's like, he easily could have been a great versatile character. But, like I said, I don't see it happening. But he was really the only character I could really think of as far as a new character. I wasn't really so much concerned with, like, you know, returning veterans or anything. I mean, it's like, I can understand why some people would want, like, Wolf or Snake or the Ice Climbers to come back and stuff. I wasn't so concerned with that so much as what new things could they be bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Although for Snake, it's like if Kojima were to have some word, it's like, no Snake. Instead, Raiden.
Yeah, but that's why we don't take Kojima's ideas.
I would.
That's Konami.
Oh. Anyway.
Tell me that isn't the truth, though, with how they.
You're very much correct. But, like, anyway, I guess for my votes, I voted for 3 characters in particular. Like kind of just spread out between who I voted for whenever I remember to do it. My initial first votes were for Knuckles the Echidna, only because I love Knuckles the Echidna. He's my favorite Sonic character. You know, my Knuckles versus Bomberman video probably wouldn't establish that, because everyone who watches that video thinks I hate Knuckles. But, like, no, I think Knuckles would be really cool in terms of just a basic CQC character who could also be really agile too.
Yeah. If anything, I'd figure for Knuckles, they might give him the wolf treatment and just make him a tankier Sonic.
Probably.
Yeah, but, you know, instead of just rolling around everywhere, instead of just rolling around everywhere, he'd be more punching and such.
Well, that's just who Knuckles is in general. He's just a tankier Sonic. That's just pretty much who he is.
Yeah, punching doesn't work? You fucking know he punches it some more.
Let's see. I also voted for Princess Daisy, of course. That's just probably not as likely as to happen because people are already pissed off by the large cast of Mario characters. I don't care though. I love Princess Daisy, so if anything, I think Daisy would be really cool as a character who could keep losing my words here, represent the Mario Party as well as the Mario sports games. Like that could be her entire moveset just based around like sports and parties.
Wait, so BJ, what you're basically saying is her final smash is that she turns the stage into a giant Bowser space.
Either that, or she uses that really cool crystal thing that she did in Strikers.
Oh,
Either or. But then my third pick, who is probably just in general the most likely pick to happen because literally everybody wants her in, is Shantae, the half genie.
yeah. The thing is, though, with Shantae, it probably be rather difficult to decide what her moveset is because majority of her powers is just transforming into things. So you kind of got to figure how exactly would they make that work.
Yeah, because they made it clear that they're trying to avoid transforming characters in general.
Yeah,
Like
either that, or they could do like what they did with Kirby and make like majority of her attacks like of her transformations.
I suppose like we'd have to wait and see if anything. Like actually, no, that would be pretty interesting. Like fun. Like as opposed to her actually straight up transforming into the animals. Like maybe she goes all fuck. What was it? What was the name of that dinosaur guy from Marvel? Rip,
Dinosaur Man?
No. There was a character.
Thinking of Reptile.
Reptile, thank you. Yeah, Reptile. Yeah, there's a lesser known hero in Marvel named Reptile who has the gains the power of dinosaurs, but unlike Beast Boy, he doesn't straight up turn into dinosaurs. He can only transform some of his body parts into those dinosaur parts.
Yep.
So I can see them very easily just doing that with Shantae too. Like maybe she temporarily changes her hands into monkey claws to scratch and such, or something along those lines.
Yeah. Fun fact: in the superhero squad, Reptile is voiced by Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising. So Reptile for Smash.
Relevant. Anyway. But yeah, so I guess in general, those are all the picks. Now, those are the characters we voted for. Who do we think is actually going to make it based on aside from Shantae? Because we pretty much just said Shantae was one of the most requested characters. Like not only did vast majority of people vote for Shantae, even Way Forward, the company that created her, they've been pushing it since the start. They even made it this really this concept like smash art for Shantae, showcasing the colors and costumes she could wear.
On top of that, I also believe someone actually went on the Smash 4 IMDb page and actually typed in Christina V as the voice for Shantae in Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe other characters that may have a chance, because I was talking with a friend of mine on Facebook who's also really heavy into Smash. In fact, we actually spar with each other quite a bit. We learn off each other a lot. And he actually said that someone who predicted that the Wind Waker stage was going to be in Smash 4 said that the ballot winners might in fact be Wolf, King K. Rool, and Bomberman.
All very liable characters, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like King K. Rool, no doubt. I know a lot of people joke how he's not going to make it in because of the King K. Rool Mii costume, but there's a lot of Mii fighter costumes that are just based on characters we've gotten so far. The most recent patch gave us a Fox Mii fighter costume and a Captain Falcon Mii fighter costume, so it's it's not unheard of.
Yeah, that, and we also have Samus costumes, I believe, and we also have Link. He was the first one to come out in the costume pack.
Yeah, we also have Meta Knight's mask. They have the Mario caps, a Bowser head. Just in general, there's plenty of Mii fighter costumes that are just copied from fighters that are already in. So, but King K. Rool I know was one of the most voted for characters. Wolf was obviously another one because everyone just wants to see Wolf back. Bomberman, I can see harder to justify though.
Yeah, it's you kind of gotta think what exactly would his moveset be, because it's the only thing we've really seen Bomberman do outside of really fighting is just throw bombs at people.
Yeah, and it's actually funny you bring up specifically 3 characters for that, Brian, because Something that data miners actually have found recently in the most recent patch, was that apparently there's data in the character selection screen for 3 more slots per characters.
So it's like what some people might believe is that the Smash Ballot won't just take like maybe one character, but they'll take like multiple ones. So like,
and that's kind of what I figured they would do, because like we brought up earlier, how based on how they designed, like how the ballot was just made anyway, there's no way they can pinpoint it down to just one character. They're going to have to find a general estimate for a few characters. Because, like I said, keep in mind spelling errors, the people who are doing obvious jokes, like just trolling or whatever. So there's going to have to be an estimate.
I'm just imagining like the whole spelling thing. Since Sakura is looking at all the votes, like, who is this Zorldo?
No, that also depends if Sakura can read English. But regardless of such, I guess one other character I can think of that was a really big that a lot of people wanted was a Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight, definitely.
Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted Shovel Knight, but it's also harder to say for Shovel Knight because unlike Shantae or then obviously the other characters we mentioned here, Shovel Knight doesn't really have a whole lot of Japan representation.
No,
he's not a big deal in Japan.
No, he really isn't. Like, it's like I know he did recently just get an amiibo. That's already really cool for Shovel Knight in the what's the name of the company that made him? It was I forget. Regardless of such,
yeah, it's like I've barely played Shovel Knight. I have it on my PlayStation 3. It is a lot of fun. I've yet to finish it, but I think it's kind of like you said. If it doesn't have a whole lot of like Japan representation, then it's like, okay, that might be a detriment. But at the same time, I guess we could also see it as like, let's suspend reality and say that Shovel Knight actually does show up in this. It could just lead to more exposure in Japan.
Yeah, and that's very much true.
And to be fair, I mean, we are living in a more globalized age, and let's be fair, a lot of people in America and the PAL regions are now more familiar with Fire Emblem due to characters that were originally supposed to only be in one region and ended up in the international release of Melee.
Exactly. So that's
so
like,
possible.
You never know. And plus, I mean, it's like, I think it was kind of like what you said, like when it comes to like indie characters and stuff, I would love to see some indie characters show up and everything, especially because of how the indie games market has taken off. But I would imagine as far as being like an actual fighter and everything, it's like, I know you made your case for Shantae. I don't know all that much about Shantae, so I really can't comment because I've not played a Shantae game. I don't know the story. I don't know the characters or anything, so I can't really comment. But I would imagine if Nintendo was to say, all right, we've got Shantae or we've got Shovel Knight, who do you want? I think more people would go with Shovel Knight because Shovel Knight is the bigger game.
That's actually relatable because I know Shantae does have a pretty big cult following.
And there's a big problem with that logic of Shovel Knight being the bigger game because that's also banking on the fact that Shovel Knight's audience and the Smash Bros. Audience overlap that hard. And while it's true a lot of Smash Bros. Players probably have played Shovel Knight, as BJ said, Shantae's games have been exclusive to Nintendo systems for pretty much the entire series.
Ever since the Game Boy Color.
Which would mean that more of the people who play Smash Brothers probably have more interest in Shantae than Shovel Knight, because at least if it's a cult classic, it's a cult classic for Nintendo fans, at least.
You're dissing my Shantae, are you? Said guy on the phone.
God damn. Go away, phone.
Stop talking. Stop dissing my waifu.
I just threw my phone across.
No, that would probably be because I'm scouring Twitter while we're discussing.
No, whatever. In which case.
So you're probably getting like the things I'm retweeting.
Oh. In which case.
You, Daddy.
He's like, I'm sorry for ruining our professional discussion.
Ah.
The salt is real.
Yeah. In the end, I guess it is debatable between who people would vote for between Shovel Knight and Shantae. There's no real definitive answer for that because really, I've seen it be pretty equal depending on who would want who. So.
If we can actually discuss about like maybe other characters aside from like some of the ones that are really painfully obvious, maybe like other characters that I think some people may have voted, some people may have voted for, which I think could work well as fighters. One of them I was thinking was Earthworm Jim.
Is he even relevant anymore?
Not really. That's kind of the problem.
It's Duck Hunt relevant anymore?
Well, Duck Hunt at least had more of a cult following.
So does Earthworm Jim, so your logic has already backfired on you.
Yeah. Pretty sure if I go to a huge crowd of nerds and yell out, "Who wants to play Duck Hunt?" More people between who wants to play Earthworm Jim, more people would scream for Duck Hunt.
No,
you see, BJ,
the reason your logic backfires there because nobody wants to actually play Duck Hunt unless it's a modern version that lets you shoot the damn dog.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Jesus. Now I know how you feel, BJ.
Well. Earthworm Jim would be interesting enough. Like, who else? Any other characters?
What about the Battletoads?
Battletoads? Oh, fuck.
No.
They're too busy. They're too busy in Killer Instinct.
Well, hey, if Lucina can be in both Smash Brothers and Project Cross Zone 2, then I think Zitz could be in
Lucina's just a bandwagoner, because it's just like, Crom and Fiora are just like, oh, we didn't make it into Smash. Let's go into the other fighting game. And Lucina's just like, can I go too? It's like, damn it, Lucina, you're already in a fighting game. Just save that slot for Sumiya or something. I don't know.
Or Lisa.
Lucina's just trying to hog all the spotlight.
Lucina's probably also extremely popular with male gamers.
Lucina's just popular in general. Everyone loves Lucina.
Yeah, I mean that's like even like because with Fire Emblem Awakening, when they were making some of the DLC, they actually held a poll, at least in Japan anyway, of people's favorite characters, like favorite of the adults, like favorite male characters, favorite females, and then for the kids, Lucina is one of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, people really love Lucina, and I mean, she's a great character. So it's like, make no mistake about it.
Indeed.
She's very much a fun character.
The winner of the Smash Ballot, Lucina again. Wait.
It's like, yeah, Lucina harder.
Oh god, that's wrong.
Lucina with her own moveset.
No,
yes, that's the ballot. Lucina with a unique moveset. No Mars clones here.
BJ, what happens is that instead we actually get baby Lucina as playable.
God damn it.
It's like, who's winning the Smash Ballot? And her name is Lucina!
Oh god, somebody should make a modified version of the John Cena meme where it actually says Lucina. That would at least be funny.
Oh shit, you're right. Cause like the synonym match and it rhymes. Fuck. Lucina! Oh god damn it. Anyway.
So, what other characters? Because I can name off a couple more.
Go for it, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know how well this would play out because we'd probably just end up just getting another clone of them anyway. But what if they were to say Nintendo be a playable character?
Nintendo?
Who?
Yeah, from Mother 1.
Yeah, the kid that came before Ness. It's hard to say.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, because I believe there's an alternate color for Ness where you can play as Nintendo.
Maybe just a costume would be fine. I doubt an actual character though.
Yeah. Another one that I'm gonna mention here, just because I think it'll make a friend of mine at college happy, just because someone is recognizing them. Bass in Trouble.
Bass in Trouble. Oh, from Mega Man.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it's like I could sort of see him being sort of like Mega Man, except the Mega Buster that Base has is rapid fire, just like it is in Mega Man and Base.
Yeah, but though to be honest, I think people would probably shoot more for Zero than Base.
Yeah, I think
Zero.
I think on your original channel, BJ, when we were doing our own videos of who we'd like to see as like newcomers, be it fighters or even like assist trophies. I think we mentioned like Proto Man, we mentioned Base. But I think, if anything, maybe we mentioned them more as like assist trophies.
Costumes for Mega Man, yeah.
Well, I think at this point now it's going to be a fucking me costume.
Isn't Zero already a me costume, or am I?
Yeah, Zero, Mega Man X, and Mega Man and Proto Man,
but not Base.
Yeah.
Oh, and .exe.
Oh yeah, and .exe. Yeah, those were all Mii Fighter costumes.
Actually, I'm just waiting for the moment where they make Dante into a Mii Fighter.
Oh gosh, it'll happen too. Just watch.
Yeah, because to be perfectly fair, you actually can recreate Dante's moveset with the Mii Fighter movesets.
Yeah, you could. Scary to think about, but you could.
Yep.
But let's see other characters. What about Dixie Kong? I know a lot of people shot for her.
Oh, that's true. I kind of forgot all about Dixie Kong. Wasn't she slated to come up in Brawl before the cut?
Yeah, she was. She was supposed to be in Brawl alongside Mewtwo, Dr. Mario, Roy, plus Slim and None as a character similar to Ice Climbers, and then someone else I forget. But Toon Zelda. But yeah, she was slated for Brawl, and I know a lot of people voted for her in the ballot. Not as many as K. Rool, but she was still pretty up there.
Yeah. The thing is with Dixie Kong, though, like, you'd probably have to try to figure out a way to make it so that she's not, like, a direct clone of Diddy Kong and such, because, I don't know, I figured they might be a bit too similar as a character.
Well, that also, there's one major factor that would change their movesets, though.
Yeah?
Dixie doesn't have a tail.
Oh.
No, but she has her hair.
No, she just poops on him.
Well, and then we went there. In which case,
no,
I think Dixie for the most part, because Dixie doesn't really utilize the same weapons that Diddy. Dixie doesn't really use weapons. Come to think of it, she mostly relies on her hair.
Yeah, it'd be like you'd be like Millia Rage from Guilty Gear. Just beat the shit out of people with your hair.
Wait a minute, but BJ, if we have Dixie Kong in here, then she'd just be a clone of Shantae, because Shantae uses.
I was just about to fucking say that too. God damn it. Because Shantae also fights with her hair. Fuck. We can't have two hair fighters. We can only have one.
Yep.
Oh, so Bobo's out.
Yep. Bobo was anime.
Character not in Smash.
Keep my anime out of Smash. Glares at Shulk.
Shulk is a game character.
Yeah, he was game originated, but he's totally anime. In which case,
that's another character I think would be interesting, and maybe to represent Hyrule Warriors a bit. What if we got Lana?
Lana was a pretty well demanded character too for the Smash Ballot, wasn't she? Though it's harder to say for her because she's still relatively new. I feel.
Yeah.
Who else? I know Isaac was Isaac from Golden Sun was another really highly requested one.
Yeah.
I could see that one.
Yeah, Isaac. The Inklings were also really highly suggested, though. Even though they're still just as brand new as Lana, but I think people want them just as much because Splatoon actually has been doing really well. So.
Yeah, like Splatoon's kind of exploded. So I mean, it's like I would not put it past Nintendo that if they could come up with the movesets and everything to do with the Inklings, I would not put it past them to put the Inklings in, even though they are very recent.
Or at the very least, have a Splatoon stage.
Yeah.
Now, Splatoon stage, that would be fun.
Yeah, actually, even if we don't get a character,
could you imagine jumping around and everything and got ink flying and color splatters everywhere? It'd be great.
Gosh,
you really need to remember to play Splatoon time.
I know. It's like I played Splatoon for one day and then I put it down for months. That it just sits collecting dust.
I played through 2 Splatfests and I just stopped playing after the second one.
Let's see who else. Actually, another character who has just been getting a lot of votes as well. Bandana Waddle Dee.
Yep.
That's a character. Like, no, I mean you scoff at that, but like a lot of people are voting for him. So
Well,
I know, but still, it's like I'm just imagining the whole thing is like, watch out for my spear.
yeah, could you refresh my memory? Like, what's the deal with a bandana Waddle Dee?
Bandana D was the which is the Waddle Dee wearing the blue midnight on his head. If he fights with a spear, he was introduced in he was technically introduced in Kirby Superstar Ultra, and then came back in Kirby Return to Dreamland, and he's been a pretty predominant character in a lot of the more recent Kirby games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see who else. I know there's Rayman. A lot of people are banking on Rayman.
Rayman, I could see sort of that's the same thing as with Simon Belmont. He's a character whose range you have to respect, otherwise you end up getting punished for it. Because Rayman can throw his fist out for like miles and then just pull it right back at him. Although the big problem with ranged characters like that, though, is that you also got to keep in mind about that range as well. Because if you miss or someone like blocks your attack, you get punished with a lot of end lag.
Yeah, that is like one of the biggest drawbacks to playing as Princess Zelda. It's like, her short range game is freaking pitiful. Her range game is amazing, but you get around all of her range magic and everything. Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I guess they tried to justify that with is that a lot of her melee attacks do have like sweet spots to them, which could really send people flying. But at the same time, that's something you got to kind of figure out on your own, how to actually get precisely well. It's sort of the same as getting the knee of just with Captain Falcon. You got to know exactly where to hit them, exactly where to send them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, Rayman could be interesting and everything. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Rayman in there. I mean, isn't there a Rayman trophy?
Yeah. Rayman, Glowbox, and then that Viking girl from.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like, I know it's kind of like what you were bringing up, like, the comparison with the range and everything between Rayman and Simon Belmont and everything. It's just, unlike, the fuckness that has become Konami, Ubisoft, I imagine, would be a lot more generous. They'd be like, oh, people want Rayman? Sure, go nuts.
Oh, yeah. In fact, you know what? I recall specifically when Sakurai, first teased the Rayman trophy, it being in the game, he brought up specifically how Ubisoft themselves actually made that 3D model for them to use for the trophy.
Yeah, so I mean, so it's like if there was enough push for it and everything, Ubisoft would be like, sure, by all means, go for it.
Yeah. I also believe Ubisoft made like a little picture involving all the characters from Rayman, like duking it out wearing Mario costumes in a Super Smash Brothers setting. Yeah. But actually, something I think would be rather hilarious for Rayman? Like, he actually shoots his fist out, and the fist can act on its own and punch people, sort of like the Luma.
Oh, gosh. No.
Yeah, Rayman, Luma killer. Yeah, it's like, fuck you, Luma, we have Rayman.
I guess speaking of more like other third-party characters whose companies actually were really pushing for their own characters to come in, because I brought up how WayForward really wanted Shantae to come in. I didn't really hear much about Ubisoft in particular saying that I'm sure they wouldn't mind if Rayman was in it. I just I never really heard anything about them specifically saying that they wanted him in. Mm-hmm. I know Yacht Club, that's what it was. Fucking hell, Yacht Club. They've been pushing for Shovel Knight. I know, actually, surprisingly enough, Microsoft has been pushing for Banjo and Kazooie.
I saw that one. I also saw. I also don't remember who it was who created it, but I remember one guy pushing for a quote from Cave Story.
That'd be odd, but okay.
Well, there's definitely a big fandom about Cave Story, since Cave Story is often considered like the king of the indie nation.
Yeah. Oh, you know who I totally forgot about, who I know a lot of people have been pushing for in general as well?
Who?
Yeah.
Wonder Red.
Oh, from Wonderful 101. I could see that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that game, to be honest.
Like Wonder Red, I know, was actually another really requested character, like up there with King K. Rool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anybody else?
And one that I could probably say, because I remember seeing this character's name on like a result of a Smash Ballot thing. Like I believe it was Reddit though, so I take what they say with a grain of salt. But I remember seeing a Amaterasu from Okami on there.
We have enough Capcom.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, I love Okami, phenomenal game and everything, but it's like, to getting one Capcom character, Mega Man probably was like the choice. I mean, he is the face of fucking Capcom, so it's like,
plus we also got Ryu. So.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's true. So we have two really big names and stuff, and I mean, that's not to say that Okami and Amaterasu is not a really big name. She is. She's just not Mega Man or Street Fighter. She's not.
Yeah.
Indeed so. Oh, look who decided to join us today. It's PlatinumRhythm.
Hello.
Yeah, so Russell, since I guess you're giving us the time, like did Ellie go to bed?
Yeah, she's in bed.
All right.
So, how was your anniversary?
It was amazing.
Yo.
Cute and such. So, Russell, I guess for the audience, tell us, who did you vote for in the Smash Ballot?
Not a damn soul.
What the fuck, bro?
What are you doing here then?
Hey, I didn't vote for anybody.
Get out! Get out of my house!
Well, then I guess, Russell, who would you like? Who would you like to win the Smash Ballot then?
But I thought about voting. I really did. But honestly, I was thinking about who people would have essentially voted for, who essentially could have had a shot. And after a while, I just said, I'm not even going to worry about it. But if I honestly had to vote, like I was torn between 4 characters. Either Shantae, Klonoa, Bandana Waddle-Dee, or
These names are
Sora.
repeating.
Oh, Sora.
Sora? No, not Sora. The first 3 you mentioned, we've literally just talked about. Sora, no.
I know it's really big wishful thinking, but if they can make it happen, that would actually make my day.
And I'm really hoping it doesn't. Like I would, like a part of me would really like to see Sora in Smash Bros. Just because I do love Kingdom Hearts. Though most of me doesn't want it to happen because I told my girlfriend early on that Sora's not going to happen. But if it does happen, she'll never let me live it down.
But even so, I mean, it's like, I understand that, we've had third-party characters that have had very little Nintendo experience, relevance whatsoever. Look at Metal Gear. Metal Gear, I know, has had a couple of games on Nintendo consoles, but that's mostly been like a PlayStation thing. And yet Snake still got in there. So I wouldn't put it past them if Nintendo was to go, okay, you want Sora in? Sure. But that's also banking on the fact that, Square will give them permission.
Not just Square. Sora's also owned by Disney.
That too. So that's where it's like you kind of got 2 big companies going on that you really gotta. There's probably there's probably all kinds of legal loopholes and shit that they gotta jump through to get that character in. But even if that was the case, I don't know. This is just me. Again, wishful thinking. I know it'll never happen, but if I was to see Sora in a fighting game, I would want it to be in like a PlayStation All-Stars because Sora's just way more relevant in the PlayStation end of things than he is on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Actually, Danny, Kedikris is actually with you on that one. He made a video entitled his dream roster for...
I know, yeah, I saw that. And it was like, he brought up like a lot of really good points and everything. I mean, I'm not saying that Sora can't be a good fighter. I think he'd be a great fighter. I just don't see it happening for Smash, at least.
I know. Like I said, it's very wishful thinking on my part, but it's something that I would actually legit like to see happen.
Actually,
and I feel like it could happen in some way, shape, or form.
Brandon, considering you're a fan of Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm surprised you didn't say Ryan.
Well, we've got Shulk. I'm perfectly content with that.
Yeah, Fiora just showed up in Project Cross Zone.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I think we're good. Like with Fiora apparently making it in Project Cross Zone 2, we've already got Shulk. Riki's an assist trophy. I think we're good.
And a Final Smash.
Well, my point being, yeah.
Riki's best hero pod. He 2 places at once.
No, that's actually happened to me once where I had the Ricky assist trophy, where I summoned Ricky from the assist trophy while fighting a Shulk, and Shulk used his final smash on me. It's like, Ricky! Betrayal!
Ricky the Hero Pod has no sides.
And then when the final Smash ends, Ricky just goes right back to his little spot like nothing ever happened. The asshole.
Yeah.
Are you all right? Did Ricky hurt you?
Oh well. In any which case, I guess in terms of characters who we know at least we're highly voted for. That I can't think of much of anybody else. I'm sure there's lots of other characters that were voted for, not including characters who don't count towards Sakurai's qualifications.
Fuck you, Shrek.
Fuck you, Goku.
Yeah, people tell me in live streams, I was like, who did you vote for in the Smash Bros? And I'll just tell them I didn't vote for anyone. And then people will say, I voted for Goku or I voted for Shrek. Get that shit out of my... Just, no, I can't deal with that. And thank you, Twitter, and thank you, Twitter, for going off.
Then you have all the other people going like, I voted for Lanky Kong.
At least he's more liable than Goku.
I assume you guys talked about King K. Rool already, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, because... people in the comments are probably going to hate me for what I'm about to say. I do not understand why people want King K. Rool in Smash Bros. I really don't. I don't see King K. Rool being a good representative at all.
Well, you see, here's something that I'm going to say, though, Brandon, because it's like, I can see why people would like King K. Rool in the game. Like, I can see, why people would want him in there. I'm just going to say this. I probably think King K. Rool might end up on the same problems as Bowser does currently, not exactly being that great of a character, because the problem that Bowser currently has is that it's like the reason Bowser is so great, I'm just going to go off from what Zero said in his video about Bowser. The reason he was so good at the start of Smash's launch is because people didn't exactly know how to combo so well, and with Bowser you didn't really have to do that. You just had to wreck people like crazy, but because people know how to combo now, it's so because he's so big, even characters who don't necessarily specialize in that kind of thing can just trip up Bowser because he's such a big target. King K. Rool end up having that same issue.
Well, you know what? I would actually see King K. Rool being more of a long range fighter, to be honest.
Oh, okay, if I can just go back to the history of Donkey Kong for a second, if anyone doesn't mind, real quick. Donkey Kong. First, I guess in this particular case, King K. Rool's debut started in the Donkey Kong Country series back in the Super Nintendo era. I can't recall the exact year that Donkey Kong Country came out, but as far as I know, King K. Rool has only been in Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2, where he took the alias of Captain K. Rool.
No, that was his brother, I believe.
Did he have a brother? I thought it was his brother too, but people told me that was actually K. Rool.
It's so misconstrued. There are people who will say, no, that was just K. Rool in a pirate outfit. But then I hear official sources saying, like hell, even in Brawl, where King K. Rool's trophy was in Brawl, where it specifically said his brother, Captain K. Rool.
Okay, then I was right to begin with. People were misleading me. But anyway, then we had Captain K. Rool.
On the internet? No.
Well, okay. Okay, yeah, I get it, but still. Anyway. When Captain... And then there was Captain K. Rool in Donkey Kong Country 2. I've never played Donkey Kong Country 3, so I don't know who the villain was in that.
Karulenstein, I believe. It was a mad scientist version of King K. Rool.
But it wasn't King K. Rool.
As far as we're aware now.
Okay, then as far as everyone knows or is concerned, King K. Rool has only ever been in one game.
No,
I mean one mainstream Donkey Kong game. Let me put it that way, because I know there's. He
was also in the Jungle Swing games,
which I have no knowledge on whatsoever. Like I said, as far as I was aware of.
Yeah, plus, he was the main villain of the cartoon. Does that count for something?
Which is kind of irrelevant at this point. Which brings me to my next point.
Well, listen here. While I make it clear. I can't believe you can't see what we see here.
Which brings me to my next point. The Donkey Kong Country series just kind of died down for a while after Donkey Kong Country 3. But then when Donkey Kong Country Returns came around, as well as Tropical Freeze, King K. Rool has been kind of irrelevant at this point. We never really saw hide or hair of King K. Rool until, I think, what was the name? Donkey Kong Barrel Blast on the Nintendo GameCube?
Well, there was also... He also made an appearance in the
Mario Super Sluggers games.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so I mean, so King K. Rool has only really appeared in spin-offs ever since the Donkey Kong Country series, and he hasn't showed up in the returning Donkey Kong Country series on the Wii and the Wii U after that. So,
Well, to be fair, Russell, he showed up in more games with Shulk. Maybe we should kick Shulk out.
Shulk is recent, though, is what I'm getting at. King K. Rool had plenty of times to show up back in the Donkey Kong series.
He showed up in more
never
games.
did.
Well, okay, and then by your same logic, King K. Rool still showed up in more games than Duck Hunt.
Oh, what now, son?
Duck Hunt is kind of more relevant than K. Rool, though. Duck Hunt's still kind of more relevant in terms of Nintendo's history.
BJ, no. Under technicalities, King K. Rool's been in more games than Marth.
Also very true. Still more games than Ike, still more games than Robin and Lucina.
That's because they're new! They don't count!
You know what? Still more games than Captain Olimar.
And you can't pull the new card on him because he's been around a while.
But he's still
Marth's
still more new.
Shut it. You're losing your argument.
I'm really not, but whatever.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm really not, but whatever.
Brandon, the reason you say
leave him
you're not
alone.
is because you
He's
don't
feeling
know
it.
better.
Just let him have his feelings.
What do you mean I don't know better?
I mean, you seem to think you're winning, but if you actually thought about it, you... Oh, computer, what? What are you doing?
What?
Pain?
Never mind. Sorry, just my Minecraft crashed on me midway. I think Brandon broke it.
well, that's what you get.
Regardless of
No,
this.
you see, what was
I guess
happening?
this argument's going nowhere at this point. What matters is King K. Rool was one of the most voted for characters in this ballot as far as we're aware.
Yeah.
So he has a very high chance.
What you see, Kenshi, what was happening with your Minecraft is that suddenly, in the big update of Smash, Steve from Minecraft is a fighter.
Well,
going back to King K. Rool though, BJ, you know what would be hilarious for a victory screen? King K. Rool's just sitting there eating Donkey Kong.
no, because King K. Rool openly said that he hates bananas.
Okay, then he's just stepping on his banana horde.
Probably.
No, he's selling it.
I don't know. So I guess that being said, if no, I think we've dragged this on long enough. So yeah, the ballot ended yesterday. I guess leave in the comments who did you vote for? Who do you think has the better chances of the characters that we know were widely voted for, and of such. If we are to believe the data miners, we can expect at least 3 more characters to be showing up because he had, like Russell, I told you about that, right?
Yeah, I believe you did.
Yeah. We can expect at least 3 more characters, possibly 2 more stages, if anything. So we'll have to wait and see.
Right.
Damn it.
Alrighty. Well, we have been the SpiffyNeedleGeeks and the SpiffyNeedle guests. Thank you, guests, for showing up.
No problem.
And we will catch you all later next time.